The man has been waiting for true love. Until the age of 40, he had never been married. He was eager to meet the right person. Finally, he decided to let go of his principles and marry a woman he had only met a few times. However, on the first day of their marriage, he discovered that his wife sang non-stop during the trip. When she drank water, she would spray it out of her nose. At night, she snored so loudly that he couldn't sleep at all. Less than 24 hours into their marriage, Eddie began to feel a bit annoyed with Layla. He didn't understand why his gentle wife before marriage had become so unreasonable after they married. On the first day they reached their destination, Layla and Eddie had a disagreement. Layla angrily left the room, and Eddie had to go look for her. He searched from dusk until night, but couldn't find Layla. Just as he was about to give up, he bumped into Miranda. The moment he saw Miranda, it felt like he had found hope for saving his love. Miranda's camera fell into the grass next to Eddie, and Eddie took the opportunity to help her pick it up, and they started talking. Miranda honestly told Eddie that every year around this time, her family comes here for vacation. Just as they were chatting happily, Miranda's cousin Martin suddenly interrupted their conversation. They had to separate, and Eddie returned to his room. By this time, Layla had already returned to their room. In his conversation with Layla, Eddie learned that his wife had not only deceived him at work, but she also owed a lot of money. Eddie's disappointment in Layla grew, and he began to think that she was not the ideal wife he had in mind. The next day, Eddie had planned to go fishing at sea, but because Layla got seasick and couldn't board the boat, he had to stay with her and sunbathe on the beach. Although he was increasingly dissatisfied with Layla, he didn't want to ruin the honeymoon atmosphere. He thoughtfully took out the sunscreen he had prepared, but Layla insisted on using mineral oil, and when Eddie tried to argue, she accused him of being controlling. He had no choice but to stay silent. As a result, Layla got sunburned, and once back in the room, she kept complaining about the weather. Eddie kindly applied aloe vera gel to soothe her sunburn. However, Layla became even more upset, and Eddie had to find an excuse to leave the room. He met Miranda again, and in Eddie's heart, Miranda was the perfect wife he had always dreamed of. But now that he was married, he didn't dare tell Miranda any of this.